Hey everyone, Chris and Jason here with the REI 360 show. We have a very cool show and a very special guest for you today. We're going to be on with Frank Chen from REIClub.com. We're going to be talking real estate investing, internet business, his market, our market, all kinds of cool stuff. He's an experienced guy, a sharp dude, and we have some really cool questions lined up for him.
Check it out live right now.
Hey everyone, Jason and Chris here, REI 360 show with a special guest, a special episode, different format. We're trying to have some more people join us to get some information and more perspectives from other important industry folks. Today we have Frank Chen from REI Club.
How's it going, guys?
Good, how you doing?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time you take it out.
Definitely. Thanks for taking the time and being with us. All right, just starting out, you want to give the audience just a little background on who you are, where you came from, and what you're up to?
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you guys inviting me on. Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Chen. I work for REIClub.com. You may have seen some of my YouTube videos. I think the purpose that Chris has invited me on here today is just to kind of say a little bit more about what we are about, who I am, and I guess what we do in the industry. So just a little bit of background. I am a real estate investor myself. I don't actually own REI Club. I'm I guess, the number two for the business. The guy who actually owns REI Club originally created it as an information hub. Since then, it's grown substantially, and we're trying to evolve into other areas similar to what you guys are doing, more videos, more content, and really kind of catapult ourselves into the web 2.0, 3.0 era where everything now is on cell phones and stuff. So, but as for real estate, I do a lot of buy and holds. I own 2 properties here in Austin, is where I reside. Went to college here, great, lovely town. But the family business, we're based out of Dallas. At our peak, I think we're owning around, it was like 35 to 40 properties, all family owned. So that's where our forte is. But we have a variety of people at our business who own, they flip, they've done a variety of lease options. So we have a pretty good idea of the market strategies. So we're not just out there producing content without actually doing the business. So, but yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a background of what we've been doing. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Is most of your stuff residential stuff, would you say, or is it a mix of residential and commercial?
I think the main focus that we've been doing is residential. Commercial's capital for us is a little bit high. We haven't done the private money on the commercial, but we do it plenty of times on the single family home side. But that's more of our focus.
Yeah, no, that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, Chris and I have known about REI Club for a really long time and been attracted to it because it's not just a guru or, somebody who's putting out information without doing it themselves.
Yeah.
And, we all know that, there's a lot of gurus in this space, and it's been a challenge on our end as well to try to figure out a way to separate ourselves from them. And
absolutely.
Everybody know it's like, listen, we've done over 1,000 loans, we've flipped hundreds of properties, and this is what we do. So it's good to have you on that understands the importance of understanding real estate first, and then teaching it and educating people to help them, because it really is a fruitful business model for everybody.
Absolutely. Like you said, there's so many people in our industry who are muddying the waters. And I think you guys are doing a great job by, getting in front of your students, in front of the people who are wanting to learn. I think we definitely need more of that.
Sure. How would you say the market is in Austin or just in Texas? Like, I don't know if Texas has, there's different markets or different cities. Like, I don't know if it's one kind of big market with different trend, with the same trend or different trends. Like, what would you say the market's doing there?
Very great question. We have a good finger on the pulse here in Texas. Of course, our core cities, Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio. I would say in growth aspects, I would say Austin's number one, Houston's close behind, and Dallas as well. I know San Antonio's lagging back, but we're actually seeing a lot of growth here. Properties values have gone up about 15 to 20% here in Austin itself. I know all my own properties have gone up substantially in the past 2 years. So we're seeing a lot of growth here. I think statistically last year we had about 1 million people come into Austin, and I think the statistic was like 120 per day we're rolling through. So if you're looking to
that's crazy population growth, 1 million people in 1 year.
Yeah, it's crazy. Our skyline's changing. A lot of areas that were I guess we're getting a lot of gentrification coming through, and property values are just shooting sky high the closer you are to downtown. So we're seeing substantial growth, similar trends in Houston as well. So it's definitely a good place to go ahead. I'm sorry.
Austin's turned into a big tech town
Absolutely. Absolutely. Google came in here, Facebook's building an office. We have Dell, Samsung, but absolutely, we're a huge tech business, tech town.
Which is all great for real estate, you know.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Same thing has happened especially in the District of Columbia. Of course, there's a metro area here, but that same kind of thing has happened in DC over the past 5 years or so, where the downtown has gotten really expensive. They're opening cupcake shops everywhere, which is anyway.
That's good.
So you also mentioned, just backing up for a sec, in some of that your family was in real estate before you yourself started operating. Is that right?
Correct. I started in the business as just really doing some basic property management. We started out like anybody else, where my mother, she leveraged some properties when she first got in. She sold insurance, you know. All these stories, or gurus or experts are give you that long story of like, I was doing this, I lost this, and I came back. Well, my mom she was cleaning motel rooms, you know, while she was pregnant and stuff like that. But she realized this is not a good life for her. She bought her first deal, leveraged that, bought her second, third, fourth, and then through there she started buying everything in cash, and then that's how everything started. So
wow,
yeah,
that's definitely some good family history in the business of bootstrapping it.
The grind, yeah, we didn't just fall into a business that was already established. It was created from the ground up, so we kind of know, you know, the ins and outs of failure. So when we talk about it, we want people to understand we went through it. So absolutely. So let me ask you guys: so you guys out in the DC area? I'm sorry, the camera keeps flickering, but so what kind of focus of the area? You guys told me hard money lending. Do you guys focus mainly on single family assets, or commercial, or just?
Sure. So our core business since 2007 has always been hard money lending. That's been a big focus of us. We kind of got into it kind of by surprise. Like Chris and I we've been business partners for a long time, went to high school together, and we owned a few properties together, and we actually used to use a hard money lender to buy our properties. And we're like, this business model seems awesome.
Oh.
And
yeah, we borrowed hard money before we ever lent it.
Yeah, so we you know, it started a little bit slow because obviously we had to raise some capital, had a little bit of our own to start with, and then it kind of just sprung. And I mean, you know, we're at the point of, you know, closing over 200 deals a year, $35 million in funding just in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. We just recently expanded into Philly and South Jersey. It was a good kind of expansion model. And we've just, you know, we try to hook up with good repeat borrowers that are just doing deal after deal after deal. And it's turned out to be, you know, a great business model. And as of about 2 years ago, we started doing a bunch of our own flips again and acquired rentals. So we acquired about 20 or 25 rentals over the last 18 months or so, and we're going to continue with that as well as the flips.
Very cool. Very cool. I know that you guys are on REIClub. Have you guys had any volume come in from us? I'm curious to see, you know, like if anybody's borrowed from you.
We're pretty big into the internet marketing and the tech stuff, and I would say that's where a lot of the success kind of came from.
Very cool.
Because, you know, the hard money lenders or private lenders are so mom and pop to begin with that, you know, all of a sudden you throw a website up and actually do marketing, you know, you're going to get deals. And really, really well. So we have pretty good tracking links on, you know, your list, your hard money list, as well as banner ads that we have pretty good tracking on as well. So absolutely, there's deals that have directly come from REIClub.
I guess for those out there, you know, we get a lot of questions. I know you guys are interviewing me. I appreciate that. But I'm just curious because we get a lot of people ask about hard money lending, you know, versus private lending or, you know, traditional lending. There's a stigma with hard money lending for most newer investors, higher rates, harder to come by, less, you know, room to negotiate. Like, what are y'all's opinions for people like that?
We can both talk about that one.
We have a good rebut. We have a good rebut for that because we go through it every day.
Yeah.
I bet.
And I was actually at a REIA last week. We all were, and I was talking about the same subject because, to be honest, like there's different situations where a hard money lender could be the right way to go, or private money, depending on the person, their business, the situation. So, I mean, first, we've had people come to us, good high volume investors, rehabbers mainly, that used to use all private money and switched to hard money, even though it costs a little more. They didn't want their full-time job being investor relations, which absolutely is a full-time job.
Raising money, managing private investors.
Yeah, managing your investors and the reporting and the proper, you know, everything else, making sure they have the information you need. And that's what I do here at Hard Money Bankers, so I know what that is very well. And it's a great thing. We have a great group of capital investors, been around forever. But not everybody wants that to be their job. A lot of people might want to focus their day-to-day on doing deals, not taking care of investors. in which case it might be easier and, not as much maintenance to use a hard money lender, right? So it's just pros and cons and people and their business and what works best for them. Really.
Yeah, and one of the big things that we talk about regularly is let's actually, forget the 13 or 14% and the 3 or 4 points, whatever the case is, sometimes higher, sometimes a little bit lower. Take that kind of stigma out of your head and let's figure out your true costs of using a hard money loan instead of your own money, bank's money, or a private investor's money. And we've learned that it comes to about a cost of just under 10% for average for our borrowers over the life of a deal, because let's say it's 3 or 4 points on the front end on $100,000, right? So let's just say that's $4,000 right there, plus the 13, 14% is another point or so a month, because it's interest only. So a point or so a month, you have the deal out for 6 months. That's another 6% plus the 4 on the front. You're looking at 10% to borrow the money. And to be quite honest, a lot of the deals that we're doing are very close to 100% of the acquisition and construction to begin with. So, for every $130,000 that you're borrowing, $130,000 loan on a $200,000 ARV flip, you're borrowing $130,000. The borrower only really needs, $13,000 into that deal, cost-wise. So, it's obviously cheaper than a JV partner. The difference with the bank is you're not going to, the bank's money is going to be cheaper, but you're going to need a lot more of your own cash into it. And, with a private lender, it'll probably end up being a little bit more, a few $1,000s more, but a heck of a lot easier.
Right. I hear you. Okay.
So,
yeah.
So it just seems like, you guys help people break these down, these cost assessments, things like that. You sit them down, any questions like, I want to do hard money lending. I know it's expensive. You just kind of work with them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we kind of take hard money to the new school level.
That's good. Well, we're trying to drop the old school.
We're not a commercial banker of we have the money, we make the rules. I mean, we have some borrowers that are extremely valuable to us. I mean, we've done 100 loans for some groups, 20, 30, 40, 50 loans for these other groups. And it's as easy as send me a text message, send me an email after you do your first deal of, when you need to close type of thing. I mean, you already know the quality of the borrower if they ever repeat.
Right.
Just analyzing the property. And most of these people are experienced to begin with. So my numbers, evaluating because, I'm on the front end underwriting, my numbers usually aren't much different than these experienced borrowers anyways.
Okay.
So.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty good setup. So in your business, do you feel like a lot of your stuff is just private money and not hard money?
The people that we work with generally are newer investors, maybe 1 to 3 years. We've ran a poll to our list to see, what is it that they're doing and how can we help them better. And we realized it's about 1 to 3 years of experience. They maybe done less than 5 deals. I would say the majority of the people have maybe just done 1 or at least looking for their first deal. With that being said, we're encouraging them to do private money in case, if they're not able to get their first deal due to financial reasons, we're not sure if hard money is the right path. So we go private money, hard money, and then if they can, go ahead. Do you have a question?
Yeah, no, I agree with that, except one thing.
Yes. I think this is everybody's thought process, and you guys can definitely turn that around.
Like you should have some private money, ease of capital. Maybe if you're using a hard money lender, you can use that private money to bridge the gap.
There you go.
The lender. The one thing that I think, and I wish that all hard money lenders did this, but I know that they don't, is, when a deal comes to us, we're a second opinion for somebody, right? So like if you're a new investor and your hard money lender is telling you, hey, listen, we can only lend this, there's a reason we can only lend this.
Right.
Chances are it might not be that good of a deal. And I mean, we're not going to make an investment decision and write a loan to somebody on a property that we don't think they're going to make money on. If somebody's going to go and do a property, it's their first deal and they lose money on it, their barrier to come back in is probably low. And
very, very, very low.
So,
and they're not going to get that information from a private lender.
Exactly.
Like Mara just emailed
exactly
a friend of ours, and we're friends from a kind of a different industry, and she's just getting into real estate, and she's here in our local area and sent us an email just this morning saying, all right, look, it's I want to take a look at doing this flip too. It's the third one she's looking at. And okay. Jason turned down the first 2. Jason said, don't do that and don't do that.
Well, we
and
quoted her a loan
saved
amount.
Her
we quoted her a loan amount.
We quoted her a loan amount and said,
okay.
I wouldn't buy this. The second one, you just said, don't buy it.
Yeah. We quoted her a loan amount. She needed a lot of cash. And we said, listen, this is the loan we're comfortable with, but we don't recommend doing this because I think you're going to lose money. As a lender, we would still be secured at the number we gave her. But so I don't know. I unfortunately, I don't think a lot of hard money lenders do that. I think a lot of them are just, I mean, our whole business model is the same, repeat borrowers. The only
Gotcha.
reason to do a loan once, like, is the reason we spend a lot of time and energy on the first deal with a borrower is we want them to come back. Because, it's a lot easier to, keep a client, retain a client than acquire one.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Yeah, like I'm saying on the private money, hard money thing, really pros and cons. Because also at the same time, I mean, in essence, like we do our own acquisitions with private money because we control all this private capital. So when we're going to buy properties,
Absolutely.
we're using our funds that we would put into loans, only we're using it for acquisition. So it's not like we don't like private money. It's just It's my case, and
Well, Frank, let me ask you a question. So what do you think the goal, like what's the goal long term for REI Club? Like where do you guys trying to get to, the growth? Do you see yourself, upping your user base and trying to get more followers because that turns into more opportunities on your end? Can you tell a little bit about that? I mean, I know a lot of people know REI Club, and if they don't, they need to, because it is a really good resource.
Sure.
Obviously, we'll put our money where our mouth is, where we advertise because there's a good quality people there, good quality real estate investors there. There's good forums that I've personally been in. We have banner ads there. We've probably even purchased courses back in the day off there.
I'm sure we did.
Off REI Club. So where do you see kind of the next step and the goal?
Absolutely. That's a big question, but I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for it. So, yeah, it's good. We've kind of been I personally feel that we've been lolling in an area where, we started in 2003. We've gone through some, ups and downs in the sense of the market, and we're really trying to just figure out I wouldn't even really consider competitors. I think we're all here to share information to people who need that information. So what we're doing is we're trying to find other companies that are reaching out to their students on a more content level versus just a selling level, right? Here's some education, or here's this guru, here's this coaching, pay for all these things. We're thinking, well, there has to be a lot of value out there without having to pay for it. And our goal is to find those areas that we haven't established yet in our business, like videos. We just started doing YouTubes, I think 3 or 4 years ago after I was brought on, trying to reach out through Facebook, Twitter. So social aspects, I think, are growing exponentially. And to get in there now, I think is our goal. So we can outreach to more people, do more content, strengthen our blogs or forums, which kind of have just looked the same. So you'll definitely be seeing a lot more visual and content changes on REI Club. We're still doing our webinars. We're still doing the YouTube videos, but we'll probably start doing more podcasts, more radio type interviews like you guys are doing. This is a great model, and I think this is definitely going to help grow our business.
Yeah, and I think we kind of learned the hard way as well, because we used to charge for a lot of the content that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because, and I felt like it was worth it. We spent a lot of time, a lot of
Absolutely.
energy. We learned the hard way. It cost us hundreds and hundreds, maybe millions of dollars on learning these strategies and things like that. So, but then, we got a lot of, people are resistant sometimes to be pay for things, they want. And at the same time, we kind of came about a year ago when we said, you know what, let's just keep this straight content. Let's create a value ladder. Give all the stuff we have for free, knowing that it'll back out, because if we teach real estate investors how to do real estate, they're going to come to us and either do a joint venture on a project or do a loan with us. And that is much more valuable than the few bucks that we can get in a sale on a content piece. So that was kind of our approach, and it seems like you guys are in the same direction. And obviously your following is tremendous because you have really good content related to it, and I certainly understand.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just a direction that people and the world and the direction that has gone because of the web and the access to information and people's, BS radar, like it's so high. People can get great information out there for free, and having your company like lead industries in that push is a very important thing, and one that we put a lot of time and effort into. Speaking of which, we're doing a meetup group here tonight in our office. It's, totally free for clients and everything else. And, there's a lot of time and effort, and like we stay here late at night. Like it's work that we're doing for free just to, in addition to doing everything we're doing online, we're trying to do it offline for our local people here too.
That's wonderful. I think what's very important for people to understand is, I always thought there's a lot of free information out there, but if you've searched for it, whether you're looking to wholesaling, private money, hard money, you're going to look up one term and have 10 articles talking about one thing. But there's very rarely will you find one place that has everything that you need. And that's what I tell people is, when you're buying $1,000 course or you're paying, for a $2,500 service fee for hard money lending, and you get access to like special bonuses and things like that, it is worth it because you're getting everything in one place. Now, you can go out there and find everything for free, but that will take you a ton of time. We don't just say that to scare you into buying something. It's the absolute truth.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because, like you said.
I agree. But it's good, and it's good to do it, from that individual expert who's on the streets, doing stuff on a regular basis. And I agree. And we have the reason that, we've been doing a lot of the free content is we have the back end related to doing loans.
There you go.
I'm happy to give anybody any information that they want because I want to do a loan for it. And we have some courses, we have some paid materials. REI 360 obviously isn't free. They pay for that because it's software component for clients.
It's free for
clients. It is.
Oh, very nice. So you guys have a software with REI 360.
REI 360 is a software platform that has any kind of tools between deal management tools to profit maximizers, spit out
flyers, contracts,
online comparables. And we've been spending a lot of time and energy and money on turning it into more of a mobile application because that's where we think the real estate market's going.
Very cool.
So for instance, you can sit outside a property and pull comps, send an email with a contract, go through a construction estimator, and even do just a complete deal management of, do an intake lead and put it into your CRM that's built into it, things like that. So it's pretty cool. We'll get that over to you so you can take a peek.
Yeah. Please do. I know that our students here, that kind of fits like the mold of what our students like. Very easy, transitional, seamless types of investing. Like the all-in-one type of applications are very well received now. So that's really cool that you guys have that. Very cool.
Yep, it is coming along.
Anything else you want to kind of end with? I mean, we have a pretty big following as well, and obviously we want to get this video in front of all of our people. So if there's anything else you want to share about REI Club, feel free.
Yeah, where should everyone contact you too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if there's any questions about our website, guys, you can definitely send us a support ticket at support@REIclub.com, letting us know any questions you may have about your own business. If you need any help finding any kind of lenders, leads, we refer people all the time based on your specific needs. Most importantly, we always tell people is before purchasing anything, before doing anything, do your research, do your homework. It's your hard-earned money. We really want you to invest in yourself, but do it with your brain. Don't just get excited about the end dollar amount or the dream that people are selling you. It's beautiful, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, and we try to make sure that that you have to put in you have your own skin in the game, put your time in, and through that experience with the education, you will succeed. We've seen it time and time again. So yeah, come check us out. We have tons of forums, blogs, videos, articles, like thousands of articles, hundreds of videos, all at your fingertips. You can watch. You don't need to sign up. You don't even have to pay or anything like that to join our website. It's free. So come check us out. We appreciate it. Again, Jason and Chris, it was a great time talking to you. Looking forward to learning more about REI 360, guys.
Definitely. Thanks again for taking the time, Frank.
Yeah, take care, guys. Thank you so much.
Sure.